And in some news that's breaking this minute, a plea has been filed in the Apex Court on Mahatma Gandhi's assassination. The plea seeks reinvestigation into the assassination case of Mahatma. The Supreme Court has now asked Amarendra Sharan to be amicus curiae in the matter. Let's go across to my colleague Amarendra Sharan joining us with further details. Amarendra, there has always been speculation, questions have been asked about Mahatma Gandhi's assassination. Now we are looking at a plea that has been filed in the Apex Court in regards with the same.
Well, exactly, and this has been filed by a resident of Mumbai, whose name is Dr. Pankaj Fadnavis, who is the petitioner. He has alleged that after the assassination, there were certain reports which have been still kept under wraps. He has also spoken about and alleged that there were certain telegrams and communications which were sent to the United States by the American embassy then located in India. And he has sought a reinvestigation of the entire matter. The Supreme Court, of course, has expressed reservations while accepting this petition for hearing and has asked the amicus curiae to see if any further investigation can be done on the basis of the evidences and proofs available at hand right now. And also, of course, there were several speculations when the assassination had taken place. Yes. Several organizations were blamed, and it was not. And initially, of course, it was being thought of as a lone wolf attack. But now, of course, with the demand for reinvestigation coming up, it remains to be seen whether any new information would be unearthed as far as the reinvestigation is concerned. But something that, of course, would be difficult for the investigators to see if at all the investigation resumes. But it has been nearly more than 7 decades ever since the incident had taken place. So, of course,
that's right.
Taking out proofs and taking out all relevant details would be a Herculean task at this point of time.
Avimanyu, what more do we know about this petitioner?
Well, the petitioner is a resident of Mumbai, and he has his name is Dr. Pankaj Fadnavis. He has sought that the investigation be conducted again. He has said he has claimed in his petition that there are certain discrepancies and irregularities as far as the entire incident goes, and he wants a clarification, and he wants to put to rest all speculations which have been doing the rounds since so many decades, ever since Mahatma Gandhi's assassination had taken place, owing to which he has filed this petition in the Apex Court. Also, he has sought that certain records which have been kept under wraps, which have been kept secretive, even after so many decades of the incident, should be publicized and should be investigated in order for the truth to come out at the earliest.
All right, we'll leave it at that for the moment. Avimanyu, thanks very much for joining us with those details. Petition, they're seeking further information and all the classified documents to be unearthed there where Mahatma Gandhi's assassination is concerned, to try and get to the bottom of the reasons and the people behind the entire conspiracy. Thanks very much for the moment, Avimanyu. Right, that's the news that's coming in right now. We do know that there are those who continue to question about the assassination of Mahatma Gandhi, but now news is coming in of how there is a petitioner from Bombay who has filed a petition in none other than the Supreme Court over the matter, and the Supreme Court has now asked Amarendra Sharan to be the amicus curiae where Mahatma Gandhi's assassination case is concerned. The plea has been filed in the Apex Court to try and reinvestigate into the assassination, to try and come out with the details of the documents that continue to remain hidden. There are secret chapters and hidden conspiracies, as many would claim. They would want to know the truth of what led to the assassination of the Mahatma. Some have also advocated over the years that it wasn't one, but many who were a part of this conspiracy where Nathuram Godse was held accountable for the killing of Mahatma Gandhi. This petitioner from Bombay wants to get to the bottom of it all and wants these documents to be unearthed. The Supreme Court has asked Amarendra Sharan to be amicus curiae in this particular case to see the possibility. After all, we understand the case dates back close to 70 years, and relooking into this case would require a lot of work and groundwork to be done, a lot of documents that will have to be unearthed and will be dusted off the shelves to be able to get to the bottom of the truth. The Supreme Court there has asked Amarendra Sharan to be the amicus curiae in the matter. All right, we'll try and get you more inputs on this as we're trying to connect with experts on this particular case of the question is that was there a second assassin who actually shot Mahatma Gandhi? The Supreme Court hearing this PIL today and has said that Amarendra Sharan shall be the amicus curiae. The mystery continues to deepen. Now we're talking about a PIL that has been filed by a researcher and a trustee. Let me go across to Mr. Brijesh Kalappa of the Congress joining us over the phone line. Morning, Mr. Kalappa. We're talking about a petitioner from Bombay who's filed a petition on the assassination of Mahatma Gandhi. Now, the Supreme Court is looking into the matter and has already assigned the task to Mr. Amarendra Sharan to be the amicus curiae. What do you make of this petition?
No, I'd like to say that as far as this petition is concerned, the RSS has been trying to say that, look, Godse, who was a member of the RSS, who later was said by his brother, Gopal Godse, that he never left the RSS, that, this taint has stuck the RSS for very long. Now, they have been trying to give alternate theories that there was a second assassin, it was not Godse who actually pulled the trigger, and so on and so forth. Now, the Supreme Court has issued notice in this matter and has also appointed a amicus curiae. So let's see how the process goes on. But this is a taint which the RSS has continued with for a long time. So maybe if the Supreme Court confirms that it was Godse who pulled the trigger and that he had not left RSS, then I think a lot of us will finally, there will be a lot of speculation which will finally come to rest.
Sure.
And it will be good for everybody concerned.
Sure. Mr. Kalappa, if you can stay on the phone line, we'll appreciate. We also have the cane of Mahatma Gandhi, Tushar Gandhi, joining us over the telephone line. Mr. Gandhi, your first thoughts on what we are tracking about this petition being filed by a petitioner from Mumbai and the Supreme Court admitting it. We know that Mr. Amarendra Sharan has been appointed as the amicus curiae in the matter over the assassination of Mahatma Gandhi. Your first thoughts on how the case is developing?
Doesn't the Supreme Court have anything better to do? I thought they were crying about the backlog of cases and their inability to cope with those cases, and then they go and entertain such frivolous and motivated cases which amount to nothing. I think the Supreme Court needs to do some introspection.
What do you think about the intent behind this particular petition, Mr. Gandhi?
It is just to obfuscate the facts about the case and create confusion in the minds of the people. There's no other intention.
And who would you blame behind such a thought?
It is the people who actually were accomplices in the murder, who are afraid of the campaign that points fingers at them.
Okay. Mr. Tushar Gandhi, appreciate you joining us. Thank you very much for saying that the Supreme Court should be doing better things and actually looking into a case that has been dealt with, a case that goes back 70 years. Mr. Kalappa, as a lawyer, I'd like to understand from you, what's your view of a case which dates back almost 70 years? Of course, this is about the father of our nation, and the truth must come out very clearly, transparently. But a case that dates back to 70 years, how is it going to be for the amicus curiae, Amarendra Sharan, to look into it?
We'll have to see what the Supreme Court assigns to him. If Mr. Sharan has a specific task to fulfill, then he has to fulfill that task. It's a duty which has been given to him by the Supreme Court. But the important thing is, like Mr. Gandhi just pointed out, that 70 years and beyond, what new facts have come out, what new evidence has come to light. So, like I said, the RSS and the RSS has to face the taint of having been a part of the killing of Mahatma Gandhi for the last 70 years, and they want to somehow wipe the taint. But if the Supreme Court were to hold that it was actually an RSS person who killed Mahatma Gandhi, I think the whole country will benefit from this revelation. All
right. So do you believe that there is a political intent behind this particular petition?
Certainly there is, because like I said, there is a taint which is 70 years old. So they have been trying to shake off the taint for a long time.
Because, there is another point I must note, that there is another petitioner in this case who's a researcher and a trustee of an organization, Abhinav Bharat, as we know of it. And that particular petition is about, there was another man accompanying Nathuram Godse that day who could have fired shots at Mahatma Gandhi. So that's another petition altogether. So what do you make of these?
No, but both of these are extreme right-wing organizations. Even the petitioner and the person you just now mentioned. So, and it is the extreme right-wing which killed Mahatma Gandhi, and it is the right-wing which represents the RSS and the BJP. So I think the story is known to everybody.
Okay, we'll leave it at that for the moment, Mr. Kalappa. Thanks very much for joining us with your points of view, saying this is nothing more than just an attempt there to try and reshape what really happened in this particular plea on Mahatma's assassination. We'll take a short